Our next presenters are actually very near and dear to my heart, as it's one of my accounts. They've also been the star of our buy-side roundtables over the last few months, for those of you who have attended. Please welcome Noam Abettan, Head of Fixed Income Trading and Digitalisation, and Daniel Leon, Global Head of Dealing, Treasury Management and Global Solutions from HSBC Asset Management. So we're very excited to see your primary issuance tool on stage today, which you've built in partnership with Genesis. I know Felipe is here in the crowd somewhere. And while Noam is getting set up, I want to ask Daniel a few questions. So Daniel, could you perhaps maybe give us a little bit of an idea of this use case? What is the actual problem you're looking to solve, and why is this the focus for you?
Yes, I think it's a great example of our digital journey in trading. It focuses on the primary market for bonds, which is for us on the buy side a key market. It's a very important source of alpha for our fixed income portfolio manager, yet it is a very complex process, inherently complex process. Complex for many reasons. Firstly, you just have a few hours to take a decision. You have the announcement, and you need to decide whether you're going to buy the bonds and how much. That's the beginning. And furthermore, when the bond is issued, you have no information in your database on the bond. Why? Because it did not exist previously. So you need to gather the data very quickly and take a decision. So the first problem is you have a real-time data aggregation problem. You don't know anything about the bond. And the second problem is you need to take a meaningful decision. You need to know whether you want to buy it. Do you like the credit? What are the analytics? What's the relative value? What's the rating? Is it good for my insurance clients? For my passive clients? What's the ESG rating? And you need to do that in a few hours. Now, the good news is that if you do it well, then you're capturing opportunities for your clients. So it's a great showcase for us to show how we can help our client better capture opportunities. And the tool itself will focus on the data gathering, the data management, the decision making, and the analytics. And that's the example of the showcase. I hope you'll find it interesting.
Absolutely, great. Are you all set with the computer and the screen?
Yes.
Fantastic. And before we get into the demo, I do need to clarify for the audience that this is HSBC's workflow, not Symphony's, and that the functionality and ability to structure messages you will see are fully controlled by HSBC. So with that covered, Noam, the stage is yours.
Thank you. So in the tool we've built with Symphony and our partner Genesis, and especially in the primary insurance workflow, there is 3 important steps. The first one is the detection, and then there is the decision, and the last one is the implementation. When we click on primary insurance use case on the right-hand side, we can see the detection screen. So here is the goal of this screen is to detect new bonds in real time and take a key decision whether we want to syndicate the bond or not. This is the list of the new issues, which aggregate a lot of information coming from multiple sources. So there is iPro, direct books, or Bloomberg, or message scrapping. So on the one hand, we can reduce the risk of missing opportunities. And on the other hand, we can use a lot of details about new issues. When we click on a bond, we can see in the middle screen the analytics screen, which is really crucial to analyze the opportunity. So we can quickly assess the new issue premium and subsequently the relative value curve, the ESG score, the cross-currency yield, and a lot of details, a lot of analytics. As you can see below, there is a Symphony chat room. So for each new issue, there is a chat room associated too. So here, purely we've built a place where traders, analysts, and portfolio manager can discuss whether it's a good bond to place in order. The added value here is to create interaction to each other, centralize the information, and quickly analyze the information and the opportunity. If the user were to highlight this bond as a good opportunity to look further, he can click to the button Send for internal syndication. It means he will create notification in order to inform other participants. When we click on the plus button next to the new issue, we can see the event window. We can display details. So here we can follow easily the new issue lifecycle from the announcement to the pricing. So as I said, we can display details. It means here we can see the latest update about this new issue. Of course, we can edit the data in order to enrich or override the information, the data. And obviously, we can add manually a comment if needed. The user can also create manually a new issue in the tool. As you can see, there is another tab quite important, which is Info Trail, where we can receive notification. Here, we can see all information received from all sources in a chronological order. So as Daniel explained earlier, the data is inconsistent and unstructured. It means that we should be able to reorganize and structure the data efficiently. Of course, there is a smart logic in the back end, but sometimes the trader has to validate or enrich the data. This is how the detection screen works. In the Decision tab, here, this is a dedicated screen for the portfolio manager. The goal of this screen is to aggregate all opportunities which have been highlighted by the portfolio manager, split by investment team. For the moment, it's just primary insurance opportunities, but we are in process to allow portfolio manager to have access to all market opportunities, such as axes or trade IDs. In this screen as well, as you can see below, there is a Symphony chat room, but this one is dedicated for the investment team. Here, the portfolio manager or the team can discuss whether they want to buy a bond or not, what kind of size, what kind of limit. When we click on a bond, one more time we can see the analytics screen and the chat room associated to the new issue. But here we can click the Team Order Book button, and we can see all orders created by the portfolio manager in this team. So we can see a lot of details, and here the portfolio manager, on a few clicks, can create, modify, or cancel an order. The last step is the Implementation tab, which is a dedicated screen for the traders in order to manage efficiently the order book. So in the internal syndication tab, the trader can see all new issues which have been highlighted by the portfolio manager. And in the implementation tab, you can see all aggregated orders created by the portfolio manager. So when we click on a bond, we can see the full order book. We can receive here new orders. We can receive modification, and we can use tick box to accept the modification. Cancellation, we can accept the modification and quickly update the joint lead book runners. In order to ensure our updated interest has been sent to the joint lead book runners, the traders can activate a countdown in order to just check with the bank if we are in line in terms of interest. Finally, throughout the life cycle of the new issue, the user can receive multiple notifications, especially if we participate to a new issue. This is what we've built in the last few months.
This is fantastic. It's great to see how different personas come together using this platform. Now, whenever we sat down, since the very first time, you always said, I want to keep pushing the boundaries. So now that this is going to become your trading team's day-to-day workflow, how do you continue to plan, how do you plan to keep pushing the boundaries?
Thank you, Eche. Well, I want to answer you in, let's say, 3 parts. Now, the first part is really obvious. It's really part of that. It's just showing that, when you have this in place, suddenly you have much more data on the new issues, on the way you manage them. So the immediate gain for us is a better way to manage, to leverage our access to the new issue. So that's the first step in pushing the boundary. It's obvious, but it's immediate. The second step is really to offer everybody a better access to all market opportunities. We want to make it a place where our portfolio managers are able to see not only new issues, but access from banks. We want to make sure that they get access to private placement and many other opportunities. We want to make it a place, where it's very easy for everybody to see what's going on and act and discuss together. And, the third part and the third way I want to answer this is really to say that this fits our vision with the way we want to transform trading, to make it more inclusive. And we believe it's great business. Why? Because we are able to put together three crucial things for everybody to see. Managing the information barriers, but we're able to provide data to everybody. We're able to provide analytics and create meaningful engagement and meaningful conversation. And I think this is something that allows us to be much more efficient as a trading team, especially when we think we're working in a hybrid environment where you're not all sitting together. And mind you, when I started more than 20 years ago, I was sitting next to a guy to which I was saying hello in the morning, and he was saying from time to time, good afternoon, every time I would leave at 6. So even when I seated as a young guy, I had no access to the information. I think if we want to be able to engage everybody, whether they are working remotely or whether they are juniors that have not built a network, making sure that everybody can see the information, the decision places, the analytics, somehow makes us much better at including everybody and taking better decisions. And I think, this is where I want to lead the digital journey for trading. And I think this tool helps a lot.
I love the way you think. Thank you so much for joining us today. Really appreciate you taking the time to prepare for this session.
Thank you, Etche.
Thank you.